This video is for week 16, lesson 2. All right, so what you're learning today and what you're seeing on the screen right here, these are the formulas that are called the sum and difference identities. Okay, now what I want you to notice is, and it may not be apparent at first glance, that there's actually 4 different formulas here. All right, so let's take a look at the top one. If you want to use this top formula and have it be a sum, right? A sum, meaning that you're using this top symbol right here, right? If you want this to be a plus, that means that over here you also have to use the plus because it's the top symbol, okay? But it's different on the bottom one, right? On this bottom one right here, see how there's plus or minus, but over here it's minus or plus? So if you're trying to use the top symbol, right, you want, or let's say the bottom, let's say you want this formula to be the cosine of alpha minus beta, and you're using the bottom sign. That means over here, you also have to use the bottom sign, okay? Really important. If you have one misplaced sign, this whole lesson is going to be screwed up. Okay, so let's just kind of take this slow and take a look at this first example. All right, and it says find the exact value of the sine of this angle plus this angle, which means I am looking very, very specifically at this formula, right? It's a sine. You can see that out here in the front. And not only am I using that formula, I have to use the top symbol here and here. Okay, so this first angle is going to be alpha, and the second angle is going to be beta, and the formula that I'm plugging into is this one. Okay, so let me plug in what exactly I need here. So I need the sine at pi over 3, and then the cosine at pi over 4. Over here, for the cosine of alpha, I need the cosine of pi over 3, and here the sine of pi over 4. And this is where your unit circle comes in, okay? Again, I hope you have that printed out or you have it available to you. But the sine of pi over 3 is rad 3 over 2. And the cosine at pi over 4 is rad 2 over 2. Cosine of pi over 3 is 1/2. And the sine of pi over 4 is rad 2 over 2. Okay, next I need to multiply those, right? I need to multiply these two together, so I get rad 6 over 4. And then here I get rad 2 over 4. There is a common denominator, which means I get to put them together. Not just get to, have to put them together. Rad 6 plus rad 2 all over 4 is the answer to this problem. Okay, let me highlight that. That is the answer. Okay, let's scoot this up. Let's try another one. Okay, so on this one, let me get rid of some stuff that's in my way. Okay, so for this one, let me switch colors. It's the cosine of a difference. Right? I see cosine right here, and because of that subtraction sign, it's a difference. So that means here I'm looking at this bottom sign, and over here I'm looking at that plus sign. All right? Alpha is going to be the first angle, beta is going to be the second one. So that means I'm going to have the cosine of pi over 3 times the cosine of 3 pi over 4. I've got to make sure I use the correct sign there. That's a plus. The sine of pi over 3 and the sine of 3 pi over 4. All right, so this is, again, unit circle values, right? The cosine are the x values. The sines are the y values. Okay, so the cosine at pi over 3 is 1/2. The cosine at 3 pi over 4 is negative rad 2 over 2. The sine of pi over 3 is rad 3 over 2. And then the sine of 3 pi over 4 is rad 2 over 2. Okay, and again, you have to simplify each sort of multiplication So here I have negative rad 2 over 4. And here I've got rad 6 over 4. And because of the common denominator, I'm going to put those together as negative rad 2 plus rad 6 all over 4. Okay, let me scoot this up a little bit. Okay, now on your paper, right, you've got, hopefully you have the paper in front of you, or you wrote the formulas down, because I can't see them anymore. But again, hopefully you wrote them down. Okay, so cosine of a difference. Oh, okay, it's just like the last problem. So I'm going to have the cosine of pi over 2. Oh, hey, look at this. I don't have an angle over here. I just have some sort of a vague description of an angle called theta. We're just going to leave that as a theta, okay? Plus the sine of pi over 2. All right, just a reminder, this is going to be alpha in the formula, and this is going to be beta. And then the sine of theta. Okay, so now when I go to my unit circle, the cosine at pi over 2 is 0. 0 times the cosine of theta. The sine at pi over 2 is 1. And sine of theta, right? I don't have an angle there. This becomes 0. When I multiply this stuff together, the answer is the sine of theta. All right, and then this last one, again, I'm using the cosine formula, but since this is going to be a plus in my formula, I know that I'm going to have a minus. So cosine of pi, cosine of theta, minus sine of pi times the sine of theta. All right, the cosine at pi is negative 1, and I don't know what that is because I don't know what theta is. The sine at pi is 0. And then this cancels out. So when I multiply this stuff together, I get negative cosine theta.